Now, the rest of the story.
Welcome back to another episode of The Rest of the Story. So, it's been a pretty hectically ugly week. A great week, believe it or not. We have a bunch of foxtail in this part of the field coming up, but there's a bunch of other grasses that were interseeded that are just finally starting to take hold. And I really won't see the benefits of seeding them until next year. But we all knew that. I mean, I try to keep the windows clean. The birds had other ideas in mind. Oh, who's that good looking character? Wasn't planning on doing this. The weather has been the weather at best. I mean, I really don't know how to describe it without, getting in trouble. Hay is in. We didn't film anything hauling the hay in. We got a bunch up around the buildings here that you'll see. Probably by the time this video, well, my videos are backlogged bad enough as it is, that by the time this video posts, those bales will be gone. Not gone completely. It's just that I've made the decision that I'm gonna stow away as much as possible inside while I can. So currently putting down 20 gallons to the acre of 32% nitrogen. On the actual bottom ground, I actually ran at 25 gallons to the acre. You can see the different shades of grass through here. That's actually from the person before me. Their grain drill must have lost a chain or something, because only half of it was seeding. If you guys see what I did, I'm getting almost too brave with the sprayer. Those tracks are just fresh, about 45 minutes ago. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, probably a bad thing. I'm getting way too comfortable with this thing, which is learning what it can and can't do is probably the most important takeaway from that statement. Largely just because I went around the waterways as low as I could with the full tank, and then when I came back from finishing up the bottom, I had like 150 gallons, and I went through as many of the waterways as I'm going to go through, which was about 90% of them, and which is probably best because they haven't had, well, they didn't get any dry fertilizer this spring. Not right in the heart of them. I basically just went up top. I have a video of that actually while I did it. I just kind of projectiled the dry fertilizer down over the hill and thought it would be good enough, that it was getting down to the center of the waterways. Turned out that I'm a liar, and it proved me wrong. But you can see there's not just foxtail coming up. Got some lighter spots, but in those lighter spots there is some that new seeding grass that is starting to make way. So all in all, the hay farm's doing good. I'm just burnt out. I mean, pretty much in every way about it. I'm wore out. I wasn't planning on doing this whole week of hay making fun. I'm glad I did it. I'm grateful I did it. Cautiously be optimistic for how the end of the year is going to turn out, and rolling the dice. Hell with it. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Putting the fertilizer on like I am. Stuff isn't cheap. We all know that. Where I'm currently at, fertilizer-wise, if I only get part of a crop, and the only reason I can go up this hill like this is because I'm down to 104 gallons in the tank. If I even get, I have to do the math on it, don't get me wrong, I went to the local high school, trust me, my math is not that strong. I can't say that. My high school teacher was awesome. It's grade school all the way up through middle school. The math teachers are just absolutely horrid. So chances of any of them watching this channel are unlikely, and if they are, honestly, I think they need to hear it. But enough of that. If I only get about half of what second crop or first crop yielded, I'm still going to be money ahead. And I had a guy tell me, which I understand that, because I think it really makes sense. Different parts of the world, small square bales, do an accumulator, do a grabber. No way would I ever do that. Big square bales, if I was going to do any squares, but the reason I wouldn't even do big squares is because I don't have enough storage for them. And I've said it a million times, I'll say it a trillion times more. We're usually making hay with rain on the horizon, which is probably what I'm running against right now. I don't know if I'm going to get all this stuff on, but if we get the 2 inches of rain that they were threatening us with, that's why I went through and did the bottom right away, because it took a week and a half after that 3 inches we got before the ground really started to dry up. And even with a partial load on the sprayer, driving through some of those low spots with this machine, I was sinking in the depth of the tread on the tractor. So knowing what your machinery can do and knowing your ground conditions are pretty important. And I can show the camera facing me, but I really don't think you guys want to see my face. Talk a little bit about equipment and production and all that kind of fun stuff. 2 disc binds have been huge, absolutely awesome and important, and it's been a huge, almost can't describe how much of a help it was having the Kuhn machine here. Another baler. Granted, I was in the camp there about, I don't need another baler. Why run 2, right? Well, I'm getting kicked in the face hard enough, not literally, but with having as much material down here as I have, because before we tried to make second cut down here, Ryan and I rationalized that we don't need a second baler because second and third cut are usually lighter than first. So if we can just get through with first cut, I mean, we'll just go through and swing that rhino rake out as wide as we can. And granted, we did that on the neighbor's place. Swing that out as wide as we can and just let her rip, and we'll be fine. Yeah, that's not the case. I mean, actually, you can see really where that Kuhn drill is going to work. Right there, right there, right there, there. So it did its job. I guess we're gonna go back and forth now. Look down into the abyss that we call the waterways down here. Pretty neat, huh? I've been down here and around them enough that they aren't nearly as scary as they used to be. I mean, a lot of it is just experience, and I've been around them enough. When I've never dealt with hills like this and driving around on them, I mean, it makes sense why I was a lot more leery about them. But this farm is the steepest and flattest farm we got that we run, all in one nice little package, or big package. But got these fingers down here. Problem is, you can see with the boom, the 3-point is all the way up and the boom is all the way up, so I can't get that any higher. So, back to equipment. Running 2 balers or having a second one available is looking like that's kind of huge. I'm really grateful my buddy bailed me out, kind of literally, but at the same time, I don't want to be one of those guys that is always calling up that one dependable person whenever things go sideways for me. So it's nice knowing that it's there. I mean, he'll help me out just as much as if he called me right now, I'd drop everything and go help him make hay or bale or wherever else. I mean, there's no question about it. But you want to be self-sufficient where you're not having to rely on the good nature of your friends to help get you out of a bind. So another baler is on my mind, another tractor. You guys heard me growling about that. It's not even really funny to joke about or even talk about anymore. Another tractor that would be available when we need it would be pretty big right about now. The 4020 is all right. I mean, the 4020 was there, but it only has one SCV. Oh gosh, lost our line, so we got a little bit of a jog there that I'm not gonna worry about whatsoever. The 4020 is there, but it's a 90 horsepower tractor that's probably not even 90 horse at this point. No AC, which honestly, tough it out and deal with it. I agree. I cultivate with that tractor. I mean, you guys didn't see that. I'm being kind of rough to the boom, but the boom is messed up. It's actually lower on this end than it is on that end. I do what I can, but I like this sprayer, but I need a different one, which leads me on to the other thing is I need a 500 gallon tank sprayer with tandem floaters, or I wish I would have done a video on that one at Grant, or Scott, no, not Grant, Scott. It was from Grant Equipment that is no longer in business, but I ran that thing up to not quite $10,000 because I really wanted it. It was a nice sprayer, don't get me wrong, but the thing went for $16,000. That's a little bit more than I'm willing to spend on a sprayer right now. It had the hydraulic booms. I think they were 60 foot too. 500 gallon tank. It had the, not huge, but they were the larger single tires on it, which I'd have made do. But something that I can do 500 gallons at, you know, I'm going anywhere from 15 to 25 gallons when I'm, depending on what I'm spraying. I would actually set up the 76 or a potential new tractor with a monitor and the sprayer setup, the globe and all that fun stuff, and I would probably take spraying a lot more seriously, which I am actually. Granted, it's on hay ground, but if I had a decent sprayer like that one at that auction this spring, I would have strongly looked at doing a bunch of our pre-emerge if I had the time to do it. I mean, can't help it. I'm a farmer. I sit and dream about equipment. I mean, most of these people sit and dream about women. I got a good one at home. I'd rather sit and dream about equipment and then complain that the woman at home won't let me buy equipment. Am I right, guys? Come on. Show of hands. I bet there's a lot more guys out there that are thinking just like I am. I'd go buy something such, but the boss has to tell me whether it's okay or not. Which I don't have it that bad at home, don't get me wrong, but that fence line down through there has to come out. Not sure if I'm going to get to it, if the landlords are going to get to it. They said they're going to start working on it because they actually want to remove it for my benefit so I can cut as much as I can through there, and they are pretty grateful. At least that's what I'm getting from them. As far as everything I've done down here, I've cleaned it up quite extensively. As far as what the previous people running it have done, not the landowners. There's been people that have rented this before me, a few actually from the sounds of it, and I'm currently in the boat where I'm gonna be here for the long term, as long as I can anyway. And the owners, outside of a few minor things, which were actually not even that, I don't even know if they were minor, basically proving myself to them that I can actually keep this place cleaned up. I did a lot of brushing around the outsides of the fields, pushing the locust trees back, and I can't believe I just sprayed all this with on my phone. Huh. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. We're at 10%, folks. 29 gallons in the tank, approximately an acre and a half of, let's see here, I bet I can finish that. I got a little bit I'm missing there. It's not the end of the world. I probably won't even really notice it, But as far as making hay and all that fun stuff down here, first cut was pretty awesome. Technically, first cut was over 300 bales if you factor in this field that I cut and took first cut off a week ago. I mean, I know the situation about it, interseeded, tried to treat like new seeding, yada yada yada. I don't need to hear that story. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. As long as they're spraying. But, oh, I lost my train of thought. First cut off this was 67 bales, 65 bales, not quite, it wasn't 70, I know that much. And then it was over 250, I don't know the exact number. I'm terrible at numbers if you can't tell. Not even just math in general, I'm just terrible at remembering numbers. Corn, bean hybrids, and hay numbers. That's why they have notepads in our cell phones, and I have gigabytes of data on Excel sheets at home, keeping track of all that stuff. But a good year. So far, it's been a good year. I guess that's the best way to summarize it. And this is the last fertilizer for me for the year. The crops are done. The hay ground will be done. I'll show you. Averaging 21.8 gallons to the acre. 1,522 gallons I've run through so far. I know that's accurate because of the flow meter on here is keeping track of it, which is reassuring. It means I only have 3 more fills. Not that, you know, I want to get done and forget about it for another year, but I want to get done with it and forget about it for the year. It's Saturday night. They're calling for rain for the next couple days. At this point, I'm hoping I don't get rained out and I can just finish it, tough it out like a big boy, and run through the night a little bit. And I can say that my fertilizer's on. We get much of any rain, it'll help wash it into the roots, and it'll kind of rejuvenate this stuff. I really do need to get back to some of our row crop ground and talk to you guys about that, because all I do is talk about hay here lately. But right now the hay is what needs 100% of my attention. The corn and beans have been completely taken care of. As far as the crops go, the row crops go, they're waiting till harvest, which the good, bad, discouraging part is that we're already through the first week of August. I got about 3 weeks to do stuff, between fixing some stuff, cleaning some stuff, doing some stuff in my house, and I'm figuring by the 1st September we're going to start making hay again, the last of it. For Dad's and Ryan's stuff, it's been, you know, it'll be a month for a lot of Dad's stuff by then, and start working on it, because I don't want to have a whole bunch of hay to make when we should be starting row crops. That would really bother me. But I'm back to the tender. I got probably 3.5 more fills. I know I have 3.5 more fills, and I want to keep going because I didn't get to see Relina last night because I got home when I did, and I'm not going to get her see her tonight. Her and Brittany helped haul hay today, but they can spend the day with her tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Long-winded, kind of boring, you know, just letting me ramble, but it's what I really excel at. So take care, take it easy, keep in touch. Talk to you later.